What's good, everybody? Hope you all are doing well. And today is the first edition of TTW Temple Talks Wrestling, but on YouTube. I'm your host, Zachary Chaby, joined by my co-hosts, Chris and Ed. What's going on, guys?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Ready to talk some wrestling. Back. I'm excited. WWE is my muse, my calming space. I'm able to just talk about it freely. Glad to be on here. I'm excited.
So, I know it's been a while since we've talked to you guys, and now we've doing a whole new change from going all the way from Spotify now to YouTube, but we're gonna be using this new thing now, so expect to see this for the foreseeable future. But first and foremost, we're gonna talk about some of the things that we missed, and first and foremost was easily the NXT call-ups. Few in particular. We'll talk about one in particular because he made his debut at the Rumble, but the people that made their debuts before then. Let's talk guys like Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and then Jordan Grace. What were your guys' thoughts on their when they got called up and the impact they've made so far? Because they've been up for a while.
Oba just debuted at the Rumble, but he made a big impact, and especially on Raw with the Viking rate. Was it War Raiders? It's War Raiders.
Raiders, yeah.
Yeah, he's also had some history with the War Raiders, so it doesn't not make sense. It makes sense for him to go after him first. You know, Spring Break and NXT, Oba versus one of them, the fatter one. I think Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivar, yeah.
Ivar.
I think with what they're doing with Trick Williams on the main roster has been fantastic. They're implementing him into main event scenes. He's getting opportunities to be able to contend for the championship. He's being put in meaningful spots right now, which is good because a lot of times NXT call-ups get called up and Triple H puts them to catering immediately. That's something that we don't like. But in the case of Trick Williams, he's been doing great. Love to see him shining. In the case of Javon Evans, I like what Triple H is doing with him right now. He's still young. He got called up from NXT, but he's still in some meaningful matches. He's been facing all the luchadors. He had that one little incident with his shoulder or something. Maybe it was, but they said he might have had a concussion. It was something like that. But either way, he's been showing up and showing out. He's a main attraction on Raw. I don't care what you say. Um, he's been doing amazing. I love what they're doing with him. Jordan Grace. It looks like she's going to be in a small program or whatever with Jade Cargill. Love that for her. Um, a good strong female build, you know, kind of one that we haven't seen in a minute. I mean, like the only physically strong females I think are like you got Nia Jax, and then next might be like Rhea Ripley, but then it's like Jordan Grace is her build is great. Um, so I want to see more with what she does on SmackDown, but uh, all three of them were in the Royal Rumble. Everybody did great. I think those NXT call-ups have been amazing so far. So good job on Triple H for handling the NXT call-ups well, because in the past they haven't gone that well. He's handling these three better already than Carmelo Hayes. So yeah,
Yeah. No, and I think, like I said, you talk about Javon Evans. I want to talk about Trick Williams, bro. Whoop that trick. Like to have, like he made his debut on that first SmackDown of the year, and they were already chanting they're already chanting his
crazy.
catchphrase. Like
That's crazy. That's
he
crazy.
already he was in the Fatal Four Way for the
Hmm.
undisputed the number one contendership. He's a star.
Yeah.
He's feuding with Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Damian Priest. Like he's feuding with the top SmackDown guys. He's gonna be that champion one day. And just a little bit of a preview. I hope that his next feud is against former buddy, former enemy, and Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. Championship. I hope that's Carmelo Hayes'
I
first
hope the
real feud.
WrestleMania match. I hope that's
That
the WrestleMania match. Yeah.
that would be amazing right there. So, but then you say Jordan Grace and stuff like that. She's been great, and then obviously Javon Evans. I'm hoping he can get into a feud soon. Maybe have a mini feud with Dom before WrestleMania for the IC title. I think that'd be huge because like he's been having some great matches, but I want to see him against more talent. The only talent I've really seen him against that like put me over the moon was Gunther when he faced him in the last time is now tournament. But then he's kind of been in this mini feud with El Grande Americano, the imposter, I
Which I
guess.
like though. Which I like. I like this for him for his first feud. I like it. I really do. And I don't know if I want to put him in a match against Dominic Mysterio so early because then it's like we already know he's going to lose. Now, you could just because, show that a rookie, whatever, he's not on that level. But I feel like for his first couple rivalries, get him in non-championship matches like he's been doing, non-championship rivalries, and build him from there. He's such a star. He's like a younger Kobe Kingston, but better when Kobe Kingston came out in his prime. He's better. He's great. Love Javon Evans. And don't get me started on Obafemi. I'll let one of y'all talk about because, whew, oh my goodness. Shoot.
I'm
Yeah,
calling right now he's going to go with either Brock or Gunther for his WrestleMania opponent. Probably Brock.
do you think he should win that? Because I think he should.
I think he should too.
No, absolutely not.
What?
I don't think here's my thing, right? No, you can argue with me, but here's my thing. I think Obafemi, he's fresh, he's young. They're pushing him to the moon. That's great, right? But since he's so young and fresh, for him to already come in and beat a 20 plus year veteran in Brock Lesnar, here comes the problem. Then where's his low point? If he beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, you can't have him lose to anybody on the roster. He would have to go on this like world championship run already and like pull the undefeated card. I feel like that's way too early, and I feel like we've seen things like that and they fail. Um, I don't know. I just feel like Obafemi, if anything, have Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for his retirement match and make it a very close, but Oba just how somehow gets
I
him.
would have Gunther retire him at SummerSlam
Or
because
that,
he is
sure,
the career killer. And I have
sure.
Gunther go against Ray at WrestleMania. Think he ended his career, but like after SummerSlam, after he retires Brock Lesnar, have him come back out, do some stuff, get into a retirement program with Dom actually for his like final feud, because he's getting up there. Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
like a fake retirement ending.
Yeah, no, I think with Ray, I think he's going to be stuck in that vortex with Gunther. But I like the idea where like have him lose, but then have him because I think realistically, like you said, it's his final match should be against his son Dominic. It makes perfect sense for him to retire him. And just for this, why I'm disagreeing with you, Chris, why I think Oba should win, it should be the passing of the torch moment. Like Brock, he's gonna like I think it's pretty much set in stone. He's going to retire at SummerSlam because it's in Minnesota. It makes all the sense in the world. Pass the torch on to Oba, who's kind of on the same path. Oba came out to destroy the War Raiders. Brock Lesnar did that when he was first brought into WWE. He just destroyed tag teams everywhere he went. And obviously, Powerhouse Hobbs now Royce Keys. I think they saying he's going to SmackDown. So I don't know. Oba will be bouncing from show to show like Brock did, destroying tag teams. But still, like Oba's this dominant force. And me and you talked about this. He's so dominant to where he doesn't need a championship to be a main eventer. He's that dominant of a performer and superstar that you can maybe not put a championship on him for maybe a year, maybe 6 months, whatever you want to do, and he's going to be in the top. He's going to be the guy getting the biggest pops, and he's going to be giving you the best performances. So
Here's my thing, right? You have Oba win, beat Brock Lesnar. Where does he go from there? Who's his next opponent? And you can't have him lose. So it's like then
Tony D'Angelo, maybe.
then Oba goes on this crazy. I don't know. I feel like it's early. Do you feel me? Like if he beats Brock, where does he go from there? What's the next step? He
I
beat
think of
the
it like
top
this.
dog.
You have Gunther and Sami Zayn. Those Sami Zayn is Gunther's poison. Tony D'Angelo can be Obafemi's poison,
yeah, like the thing with D'Angelo is like probably should have been up before Obafemi. Like he's been in NXT
Yeah.
for a while, so like I think that
Not as long as JC Jane, though.
yeah, well, she should be up soon. But obviously, when we talk about the Royal Rumble in a few minutes here, we have a lot. I think we have a lot more positive talk about the women than we do the men's. But moving on with the point, I just think it makes the most sense then because, like, obviously, I don't want to rush the Oba versus Gunther match yet because I think that's an amazing match right there, and it doesn't need to happen soon. But with the WrestleMania sense, Brock Lesnar's advertised. Who else would you realistically see him face then if it's not Obafemi?
At WrestleMania, if it's not Obafemi, do something with Brock Lesnar versus Bronson Reed. I don't know. That might not be good box office for Brock Lesnar, but
Is Lesnar on SmackDown or Raw?
well, he it doesn't matter. I
Free
don't think
agent,
yeah,
Yeah,
he'll
he
swing
shows up.
wherever.
He shows up when he wants to.
Like give
like
me
The Rock.
Brock Lesnar versus I don't even know. Like I just don't know. I feel like it's early. I'll even do Brock Lesnar versus Gunther at WrestleMania because we've been wanting that for 3 years before Brock got into his lawsuit, and then we thought it was over. But that used to be the dream match. Um, I know Ed said he would do that at SummerSlam, I think, but
Yeah, I
listen,
would.
I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
I just think, I just think the way they have things set up, it makes sense for. I think no matter who Brock Lesnar faces, he's going to retire uh, in Minnesota at SummerSlam, but it would just make most sense in the world if it was Gunther. And it's the sense for like, I think I talked about you this too. I think if Roman Reigns, obviously we'll talk about him in the Rumble, he won the Rumble. I wouldn't be surprised if he won the World Heavyweight Championship against Punk, maybe held it till SummerSlam, not obviously his the biggest reign he had, and then passing of the torch to Braun Breaker because the passing of the torch to Braun Breaker and Obafemi, I think, has to happen very soon. It's going to happen at least by SummerSlam when we get to that point because those two guys I view as like, although Braun Breaker and his like faction have not been taken seriously, I think, ever since Seth Rollins got hurt and they kicked him out. But still, besides the point, Braun Breaker is one of the future stars. Obafemi is already that guy. Those two guys are going to have to be the mainstays of Raw, then competing with the other side, which is probably going to be like Trick Williams, and then if Carmelo Hayes keeps performing well, maybe he'll get into the championship picture because I like what he's doing. But it's like it raises the question to where like Brock Lesnar, this behemoth, this monster, did everything he wanted to do. I think Obafemi, he could beat Brock Lesnar, and then you don't have to have another feud set up for him. You could be like Brock, and John Cena even said this when he said why he wanted to be destroyed by Brock Lesnar, because he said he wanted to lose that match, so then the next guy that beat Brock Lesnar was the passing of the torch as the next dominant guy in the company. And I think you can have Brock lose to Oba and then lose to Gunther at SummerSlam. I think that makes the most sense. Then have Gunther and Obafemi finally have that feud and like both guys who beat Brock Lesnar, who's the real giant, and then set up that feud. I think that would be the perfect segue to it. So, but looking at the outlook of everything else, that's basically everything we missed. Obviously, Drew McIntyre, that was a big deal that he won the undisputed championship. What are your guys' thoughts so far on his title reign and how that went? How him controversially winning the championship, just escaping the cage in a 3 stages of hell match.
I feel like this is way he deserves it. He's been there. He should have won soon after the Punk feud. He should have won at WrestlePalooza. He's about a lot of months overdue. It's very disappointing that not disappointing per se, but underwhelming that he won it when he did, not earlier, because there was so much better to do earlier when the original plan was have Randy cost Cody the championship and have that program build all the way up to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it was time because I'm sick and tired of Cody Rhodes. I think the audience was to get him out. Like I've heard from multiple people, he's better at chasing the title than when he actually has the title because when he actually has the title, he is a boring. So, I think it's great. Drew McIntyre's been deserving of the title. He kept getting close. He kept being in championship matches, and Triple H would never put the belt on him. Um, I think if they do the match with Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania, whether it's just whether whatever the match is, I actually think Drew McIntyre should retain. I don't think that you should have Drew McIntyre have this little reign, finally WWE champion, and let it go back to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, or even have it go to Jacob Fatu. I don't know if Jacob Fatu. I'm not going to say he's not ready, but I don't think we're ready to take the title off of Drew that quickly. Um, so, but it was a great way to end the match when Jacob Fatu came in, disturbed the presence. Drew McIntyre slips out. Loved it. Love to see it. Love what Drew's been doing with the title. And so far, I'm enjoying Drew McIntyre's reign as champion better than Cody Rhodes' reign so far. in his whole reign. I mean, it's been great so far. And the way Drew McIntyre is a heel, and he got Cody Rhodes eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and
And he
it's
did that
great.
double
Oh, it's
Claymore to
great
Sami
stuff.
Zayn.
Yeah, it's great stuff. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on Friday and where they go. But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think in the sense where it's like Cody Rhodes, his realistically only chance left to face Drew McIntyre is if he wins the Elimination Chamber because Drew said it himself. Like not only is Drew acting like before the championship, he's being even more of a heel now as the champion. Like he's completely, like you're saying, screwing Cody Rhodes out of everything, basically flipping him the double bird, saying you're not getting anywhere close to this championship. And then realistically, if he doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, Drew's going to probably face whoever comes out of that. But I think Cody will probably be a heavy favorite in that because it's just what's. But I agree with you in the sense where I think they should keep the title on Drew McIntyre. Except for this, the only time we haven't seen Cody Rhodes as a champion for an extended period of time is when he had to finish the storyline. Other than that, we haven't actually had a reason to have him as a single star. Test it out. They've done it with plenty of superstars in the past. Shawn Michaels was able to do it. John Cena was able to do it at periods of time. Triple H. If Cody Rhodes is your main guy and you consider him that way, test him out with other feuds that don't involve the championship. Keep Drew McIntyre as because you have a babyface on Raw as the champion, and keep this CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I want them to keep this far enough so it can set up Crown Jewel, those two for the Crown Jewel Championship. I know that's really far away, but that'd be pretty cool to see those two as World Heavyweight and Undisputed Champion.
Yeah.
So, but now let's move on to the Royal Rumble. We're gonna talk about which one do you guys want to talk about first, the women's or the men's?
The
Women's.
women's.
Okay. So obviously, I think the women's was definitely more intriguing and interesting than the men's, to say the least. And something to explain, something that pretty much tells you everything you need to know. Charlotte Flair lasted longer in the Rumble than the men's Rumble lasted as a whole. But I think the big thing in the women's Rumble is easily the performances, and one in particular in Sol Ruka. And I want to give a round of applause to her. She was amazing. Like entering at number 10, she was the Iron Man, the Soul Snatchers one after one after one, and then the double Soul Snatcher before getting eliminated by Tiffany Stratton. She was absolutely incredible. So, but is there any other people you want to talk about, or like what really stood out to you guys in this women's Royal Rumble match?
A woman that really stood out to me was Kiana James. She was able to lift up Nia, have a few good spots with her, and overall she outperformed what she was predicted to do. She really made a statement, you know?
Exactly.
I would have to agree with Ed. Kiana James definitely showed out. I think she came in at what, number three?
Three,
It
yeah.
was three. Yeah, she did her thing. I when she came out, I rolled my eyes and I sighed. But when she got in the ring and did her thing, against Charlotte and Alexa, she impressed me. So I hopefully she continues that on SmackDown, and we'll see what happens. I will say, um, like you said, Sol Ruka, my goodness. My goodness. Oof. Pull her, listen, make her the NXT champion. Pull her up to the main roster in the next year and have her work with those stars because she is a beast. Soul Snatcher, what? Oh my goodness. I will say, the Women's Royal Rumble was definitely more showcasing, I guess, as a word, than the men's, I would say. Um, there was a couple of stars in the women's rumble that got fired. You know, Jordan Grace, Kiana James, Sol Ruka, Brie Bella came back, Tiffany Stratton came back. I will say I was disappointed because I did predict that Bianca Belair will come back, win the Royal Rumble, face Jade Cargill. It just seems like she's not ready. I know it's her finger. That can be annoying. I have a finger injury myself. I know how it is. I know hers is probably much worse. But what I'm scared about is, and then I'll get back to the Rumble. What I'm scared about is this. I do not want to see Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. I do not want to see it. I don't want to see it again. We've had that feud. That I don't want to see it. I think that's a boring WrestleMania main event. Like, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna say it. I'd rather see Charlotte Flair win the Elimination Chamber, and go on to face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Just because, and I'm not just throwing that out there. This has
It's
been,
not going to be Charlotte.
I'm saying that's my preference. This has been long-term booking, okay? We saw from before when Jade Cargill first came to WWE. Charlotte Flair came in, they had a look, they had a stare down, okay? They've had more recently. Like if Bianca Belair doesn't come back and win the Elimination Chamber to face Jade Cargill, if it, I hopefully it's not Tiffany Stratton because I don't know who else would.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. No, I hope
Searching for bliss.
I hope
Alexa
Found a
Bliss.
few options in
I hope they're waiting for a. I hope they're waiting. Well, with Bianca Belair, I hope they're waiting till as soon as possible because I think even this is my angle on the Elimination Chamber. I think Raquel Rodriguez should win the Elimination Chamber. Set up a triple threat match with her, Stephanie Vaquer, and Liv Morgan because we'll talk about what happened on Raw the night after the night or like the Saturday after the Royal Rumble, and then you can literally have Bianca Belair if she's ready enough to come back literally 2 weeks before WrestleMania and be like, "Yeah, I'm facing you, Jade Cargill," and that's set up perfectly. There's no storyline that needs to be built because like the seeds have been planted for years now, and it finally sets up. And I like the point you bring up about Tiffany Stratton because we've already seen it 5 billion times between her and Nia Jax. I would like to see someone fresh like you said with Charlotte Flair or even Bliss because I think that they'd be able to offer a little bit more in the situation. And ever since Bliss has come back, she's not been able to get any. I think the only championship match she's gotten, I think, is the U.S. Championship, if I'm not mistaken. So
By the way, brother, by the way, and you're right, I totally agree with you. And here's the thing. This is another scenario. I don't know if I know you guys saw at the Rumble, it was Asuka and Kairi Sane. They had their little thing where Kairi Sane knocked Asuka off. Boom. Io Sky was in the background looking whatever. They had Io Sky was in the mix. If just so it's not Tiffany Stratton, right? You can do this. Split Rhea and Io up. Hold on. Split them up. Have Rhea win the Elimination Chamber. Have Rhea versus Jade at WrestleMania. Have Io Sky versus Asuka versus Kairi Sane in the triple threat match, and you can tell that story. But because especially if Bianca Belair doesn't come back, I do not want Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill would be a bathroom break times 200. I rather watch. I'm so serious. I rather watch El American Grande Americano versus
Original or Impasto.
versus the real American. I don't want to see Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton again. So, yeah, and it's not like the tag team division right now needs Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. You have the Bella Twins, so whoever they drop the titles to, let's say they drop the titles to, I don't even, I don't know. You have the Bella Twins versus A and B and C, and you can do that. That's my thing.
no, I definitely think that's a interesting things on things. I think what I've been hearing from the rumors and stuff like that, they're trying to set up a Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky match. I think they're trying to do like what they did with people think they were going to do what they did with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, like when they were the tag team or was it Rey or Chavo? Either way, I think
It was Chavo.
okay, Chavo. Yeah, I was just making sure. Like, yeah, they faced off while they were tag team champions. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that because no matter if they're one's heel, one's babyface, they always put on stellar matches, Io and Rhea. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that on a big stage like WrestleMania. I just think that there's so many angles you can do here with Cargill and just repeating. And it does worry me that Tiffany Stratton was the last to get eliminated. So, but maybe they can find something here quick. But they have plenty of options. They don't have to default to the one option and that. But also talking about SmackDown, I want to give another round of applause to Lash Legend, man. Like she had 5 eliminations.
She got booed out the building. That's what she got.
I mean, she was impressive. She had 5 eliminations. I think
She played her role well. That's why she got booed out of the building.
exactly. I mean, Nia Jax got eliminated very early on, and and that goes back to the point you talked about Charlotte and Bliss. Like Charlotte eliminated Bliss, and I know they love to run Charlotte and stuff like that. But going back to Lash Legend and stuff like that, she eliminated the Bella Twins, I believe, right? Then she eliminated
Yes.
Guy, and then off the top of my head, I can't remember who rest, but like most of her eliminations were prominent people. So like to do something like that, I think is great. And like she's another one. Once she has her singles run, it's gonna be special with her. I like that they're doing now with what they're doing with Nia Jax. Get her onto the scene. Don't put too much pressure on her. But when she gets released from that, and like once they disband the tag teams, because the tag team division is thriving right now when it comes to the women's, they don't want to disband that at its peak. But then once it starts to die down and they break up, I think Lash Legend is going to do huge as a single star because she showed a lot in this Rumble and she plays the perfect heel to perfection. So her and Trick Williams know what they're doing. That's probably why they're a couple. So, but thinking, is there anything else you guys want to mention about the Women's Royal Rumble? Or
So what I thought was gonna go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking.
What I thought would have been a good idea, just to keep it rolling, because it's been a little while. Like, what are we doing? Um, I was thinking, and I was expecting AJ Lee to be in the Rumble, just so you can keep that narrative. Oh, AJ Lee eliminates Becky Lynch, and then that's just another checkpoint. We haven't seen AJ Lee since when? What was the paper when?
War Games?
War Games, which was November. Am I correct?
Yeah.
November,
It's
yeah.
it's now February. Okay, so that means if we don't see her we won't because what? When's the Elimination Chamber? March 1st? It's in March, right?
We might see her because it's in
February 28th.
February 28th. Yeah, if we don't see her there, then I'm alarmed because like let's go. They didn't have to rush her. They could have put her in the Rumble and had her take a leave again. But like
because I think this at this point, I'd be shocked if we don't see her versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship.
exactly,
If they don't do
exactly.
this at this point, it makes what they've done with her so far would make no sense. And then even then, like I saw this good point that someone brought up, face those who face off at Mania, have her win the championship, then after maybe after a month or two reign, give it right back to Becky and let her continue doing what she does. Like they could set this up perfectly. It's just I hope that those two get a little bit of promo time because the only time they've had to get anything, Seth Rollins and CM Punk were there trying to talk about the mixed tag match.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys want to mention about the women's or anything else that like really stood out to you?
I like Candice LeRae's bodysuit. It was Van Halen inspired. Frankenstrot.
I hate I don't like Candice LeRae, but it's okay. I think she's very boring. I think she needs to leave. I think her and Johnny Gargano needs to. I think it's just time. I think they need to take the Tommaso Ciampa route, go to AEW, start fresh, start new. He's doing great things over there, week in. So take Johnny Gargano. I don't want to see Johnny Gargano on my TV screen any longer. I think it's just he's
He's
run
still
its
got something
course.
going on with Fraxium.
Yeah. I mean, that's been funny at least. I like that, like the angle they've been doing with that. You talking
Yeah,
about
but when is so Johnny Gargano's funny now? Like where's he used to be black and gold, bro. Him and Champa, it used to be bang bang bang. Now he's like
come on, man.
regulated to this.
They don't take anybody from the black and gold serious anymore. Finn Balor, man, we can go
You're
on and
right.
on about him.
But hopefully now
Yeah,
with Finn Balor, they start to
yeah, we'll see though. No, but you talk about Candice LeRae. I know there's another person that like you really don't want to see, Maxine Dupree.
I'm about to log yo bro. Yeah. See, Maxine Dupree. I'm about to log off. She is so I rewatched her promo on Monday Night Raw, like when they did the commercial break or whatever. I saw it on Twitter. She stumbled. Listen, I like Maxine. She's, listen, she's getting better. But this thing with Natty Neidhart, who's also horrible. I think it's terrible. Um, I will say I do appreciate Triple H taking steps for change. It is different than what we saw with Natalia, so I'll give them that. Hopefully they just add on it. And Maxine, I don't know what she's gonna do. She's just there. We're probably not gonna see her at WrestleMania. She's never on any pay-per-view. She's just a role player that sometimes has a good match, really, because of another superstar helping her out. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is what I thought about the Maxine Dupree promo. And
Exactly.
yeah, it wasn't even like generated and it was like a side promo, so obviously the TV audience didn't see it, but
Right.
still there was nothing to it. And when she screams, she's like, "I'm gonna break her ankle." That's just awkward for me. It's very
Not good.
awkward. And
It's not good.
obviously she's made improvements and stuff like that, but at the same time, I still can't believe she beat Becky Lynch. Obviously, it's caused because AJ Lee distracted Becky Lynch, but still, I can't believe she was ASC champion for that extended period of time. And I've talked to you about this. I think I would take her more seriously if they changed her dang theme music from Alpha Academy. I can't take her seriously when she comes out to that music. So
I agree.
Yeah, theme music is everything. Just look at how Kit Wilson got
yes,
pushed.
He should have been in the Rumble.
I don't think Saudi.
Ooh, wait till we get to the. Ooh,
I don't think the Saudi audiences would enjoy that.
Oh, just wait till we get to the men's, because I mean, La Parka, what's the lizard? Why?
Mr. Iguana.
Yes. All right. So I think we'll get right into it then. Obviously, the men's rumble was a lot more underwhelming. I would like to call it the Lucha Express. I think
it was more predictable.
Yeah, and it was 1/3 of the rumble, I believe, was luchadors or something like that. I think the only good part of the luchas were the El Grande Americano moment that we had when the newer one entered, or the imposter, and then the original entered right after him. I think that was probably the best. But then La Parca, I've heard of him, but it's you gave him a spot over Finn Balor or all these other people and stuff like that.
I think if we got rid of La Parca and Mr. Iguana and put in Finn Balor and Kit Wilson, the Rumble would have been way
Kit
better.
Wilson, Carmelo Hayes,
even Shinsuke,
Shinsuke Nakamura, anybody. Why? You could have threw in Ricky Saints. You could have threw in Joe Hendry. You could have threw in Jeff Hardy. You could have threw in Dolph Ziggler. But instead you choose to throw in La Parca and the Lizard, along with Dragon Lee, he's gonna
Dragon
do
Lee has some importance.
He's gonna do a program with Gunther. But I'm saying, I was about to name all the luchadors. They had 25, like you said. But anyway, come on, Rusev. I was high on him when he came back to the company. Triple H, I'm blaming this. Listen, absolutely bombed him, and the fans just don't like him. He gets no reaction.
I think he needs to bring back Rusev Day.
Maybe he needs to bring back Lana. He needs to do something. You could have put Aleister Black in the Rumble. I think he's still injured.
I don't think he's able to be in the Rumble because of his back tattoos.
But you guys see what I'm saying? Anything, you could have brought NXT guys, TNA guys, AAA guys. You could have brought in
We did bring in AA guys. Mr. Iguana and
not them. I'm talking about relevant ones. I don't want to see them.
Going back to Women's Rumble, AAA, I forgot about Lola Vice. She had a good showing too.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
No, I think, that was definitely a frustrating part. But can we talk about the most frustrating part? Jey Uso is yeeting.
And Brock Lesnar gets eliminated.
It's unbelievable. What are we doing? Brock Lesnar just eliminated Oba Femi, who was dominating the Rumble. By the way, him coming out at 1,
Beautiful.
Beautiful, like you said.
It was supposed to be Braun Breaker, but...
Yeah, could we also talk about that? What the hell was all this crap? He gets attacked and then thrown into the ring and eliminated. And let me ask you this: who do you guys think the mystery man is? Because we're apparently running this back again.
I know who it is. It was supposed to be Seth Rollins, but he's injured, so it's now Grayson Waller as a fill-in for Seth Rollins.
Okay, because I did hear that rumor on social media. What about you, Chris?
Now, do we think it's Grayson Waller just because Austin Theory? Do we think Grayson Waller was picked because Austin Theory's in the mix and they might try and do something like that? Other than that reason, I don't know why Grayson Waller would be picked. That just seems random. I'm assuming it's because Austin Theory's there and they can do a thing with that.
Remember that thing they did with who's the Montez Ford? He was the Masked Man as a fill-in for Austin Theory, but he wasn't the Masked Man. Remember?
Yeah, so you're saying Montez,
he was just a stand-in.
Montez Ford was the original Masked Man at Survivor Series, and
that was Austin Theory. Then the week after that, it was Montez Ford. Then the week after that, it was Austin Theory again.
when he eventually revealed
Yeah,
himself. Okay. Yeah, I think that would make sense. We definitely know it's not Montez Ford in this situation. The one
yeah.
interesting point I'd like to bring up about is we saw more of his facial features, and I think we saw like kind of like a blondish beard. I
Could
think,
be Jake Paul.
or Logan. If it's Jake Paul, that would be insane. Another
He did
angle,
come out once in like a previous Crown Jewel.
yeah. The one angle I did see though, and it kind of doesn't make sense. It kind of makes sense. Obviously, you talked about Axiom earlier. People brought up Nathan Frazier because he is a mentor of Seth Rollins, and I think this is what they could possibly. I think it's pretty much. I think Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, WrestleMania. I think that's what's going to happen right now because Rollins is playing mind games without even having to be there on Braun Breaker because we saw the crash out he had on Monday night.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
There was no intro, just a cold open.
Exactly. Like he cut the intro. Like usually they run through
Yeah.
the whole Netflix intro. He cut that and started flipping tables and screaming. So I think they could set up the point to where we could have another Shield Plan B, where the Vision is standing in the ring, the Masked Man's come out, Seth Rollins is finally back and reveals himself because he said his shoulder is not good, but he doesn't need his shoulder to have his finishing move. So I think they could probably just be and WrestleMania. He could come a few weeks before that and. There's no storyline that needs to be built, and he could
It's
have
already built.
exactly. He can have the match right then and there. But then, as in reality, Seth Rollins was building his own faction all along. And then the second Masked Man comes out, and whoever it is, and then the final guy is Austin Theory, where he hits Braun
Yeah.
Breaker with either a chair or just punches him.
Maybe Bronson Reed.
The thing with Bronson Reed is that he was originally part of the Vision, and I think
When it was no, you know, hitting Bronson Reed with the chair.
oh
Who-
yeah
Who was like when Seth Rollins hit Roman Reigns? Who was like the leader of the Shield? Was it Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose?
I guess Seth Rollins was the architect, but like yeah, Roman I think was obviously at that point the weakest of the group, so it would make sense if Bronson Reed and then at the end of the day, I think Seth was the leader of the group. That's why he did it, but it's obviously going to be Theory. I just think
Yeah.
making him Bronson Reed would make sense, and then having Braun Breaker stand there while then he attacks him, and then Logan Paul would probably find a way to escape the ring because he doesn't
Yeah.
like to deal with controversy. So, but I think that's a interesting point. But like you said, Chris, like this Rumble, although like we can talk about the mystery man, all that kind of stuff, immensely underwhelming, and it's not like you didn't have the star talent, even with all the people they had in there instead of other people, they still had a stack Rumble and found a way to mess it up. Like, I would like to say I'm a supporter of LA Knight, but it's tough to be one when they don't take him seriously. He eliminates the Vision and then can't even finish in the final four. He gets eliminated by Cody Rhodes, which no sense whatsoever. The final four also made no sense whatsoever.
It
Roman
was
Reigns,
Logan Paul,
Yeah,
Roman Reigns,
Gunther, and Randy Orton.
and Randy Orton.
Yeah, like only one that made sense was Roman Reigns. Gunther, he should have never been in the Rumble, I think, in my point, because he already beat Styles,
I agree.
and having him get eliminated, I think, just hurt him more than anything, which obviously really did him, but like it hurt him in like the tiny bit of sense. Like, is there anything else that really stood out to you, Chris, in particular? Because obviously,
Used to mean something. I was excited. I said, "Who's gonna be number 30?" I don't know. First of all, I'm not gonna lie. I knew it was him because I remember Michael Cole saying earlier, "Oh, and Gunther's gonna be in the Rumble later tonight." So once 29, we heard who 29 was. I was like, "Wow, they're putting Gunther at 30." Bro, I just like, yo, you could have flipped it. I'm so serious. I think I'd rather have seen Roman Reigns at 30 than Gunther at 30. I'm just sorry. I thought it was flat. I was like, yo, I feel like everybody knows. Why have Gunther be in the last two? I feel like it was predictable at that point because
I feel
nobody
like
thought,
30 always needs to be a surprise.
but nobody thought Gunther was gonna eliminate Roman Reigns. Nobody thought that wouldn't make sense. Gunther versus CM Punk, we already saw that. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, no, like that was
and that would be a
I
heel.
feel-
That would be a heel matchup anyway.
heel match, exactly. So it was predictable to me. If anything, they should have done in that final four group. If I had to pick, they should have left it with Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. Also, that's a feud we never got during the tribal chief era.
We kind of did
No, we didn't get a one-on-one match though.
a
We
one-on-one
didn't
match
get.
because probably when they were about to have one, he got taken out by the Bloodline. Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't exactly.
the only thing we got was the Fatal Four Way. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Right. We didn't get a Randy Orton Roman Reigns one-on-one match. So for to do that at the Royal Rumble in the last two would have been fire. And that would have been less predictable. Oh, Randy Orton versus CM Punk, something I want to see. Randy Orton versus McIntyre. Oh, and then Cody Rhodes gets in there. And then it's Cody Rhodes, Randy, and McIntyre. I don't know. But it was the right outcome, but the match itself was okay. Like last year's Royal Rumble was head and heels. It's not even close. Between the order, the producers of the show, how they did it, it was great last year.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just gonna say the only thing I would swap is probably the match winners because last year's Rumble was great, but the match winner was very anticlimactic with Jey Uso, and then this one was pretty bad, and then the winner is the only thing that made it good about it. So,
exactly.
but then let me ask you guys both this before we move on to Monday Night Raw. What would have been your ideal Final Four?
My ideal Final Four: Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, LA Knight.
Okay, Chris.
Sure. I didn't really have it. I'm not sure I had an issue with the final four as much as I did with the final two. Because I feel like really the final two, it's like, yo, you shouldn't be able to know. Usually the final two is like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? Ha 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 ha. Nobody thought Gunther was winning. Okay. But if I had to choose a four, I mean I thought it was okay. I would probably just switch out Logan Paul with probably Cody, just like so the fans are like, oh, Cody's gonna win again, because Cody kind of got eliminated earlier than I thought he would. Um, so like you could have had Drew McIntyre come and do the same thing during the Final Four, you
Yeah,
know.
no, I agree. Now, my ideal Final Four probably would have been Roman, LA Knight, uh, Trick Williams, and then Jacob Fatu. I like that. I think that would have been a good Final Four in my opinion because I think Roman obviously would have been the favorite in that situation, but also LA Knight. People would be like, "Oh my God, he's in the Final Four. He has a chance." Like the LA Knight fans would go through the roofs. Trick Williams to be in that caliber of a Final Four would be huge, and then obviously Jacob Fatu is just a complete animal. I think so.
No, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, maybe I don't know. I feel like nobody thought. I feel like nobody really thinks LA Knight would have won. I mean, because he's just too. I feel like he's never gonna get to that point, at least in the near future. I do like the Jacob Fatu though. That was a great point. We could have seen Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu clash face off, and oh, that would have been fire.
Yeah. So, but last but not least, to end off the show, we're going to talk about a very eventful Monday Night Raw. And me and Chris were actually there, so we saw a lot of what happened. Is there anything first, Chris, that stood out to you? Let me actually start off with the promo, the the absolute cinema we got as a main event. Like I told you, better than any match I would have saw that night was that promo. What was your guys' both thoughts on this promo?
Promo was delicious. It was absolutely amazing. I was at the edge of my seat the whole time. Never seen better. Um, CM Punk elevates Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns elevates CM Punk. It was great. I'm glad, and I see why they did. They definitely did it for promo reasons and for advertisement. They announced the main event of WrestleMania 42 already.
Night two, by the way.
Roman Reigns called his shot already. They didn't want to waste any time, and I appreciate that because it was kind of predictable-ish. So I'm glad they were able to just do it now. Both delivered an insane promo. Both hit certain points that got the crowd like, ooh, like that. Those are the type of promos that we only get rarely. And we used to get promos like that when Roman Reigns was a tribal chief, like the real champion all the time. It used to be cinema. That promo that promo took me back to the word cinema. I can't say I've seen cinema that much in recent memory. That promo, there was no match. Promo, absolute 100% cinema. Now we probably won't see Roman Reigns until after the Elimination Chamber, and that will give CM Punk time to do his feud with Finn Balor, and hopefully from there, Finn Balor can lose but gain an edge and give us Demon Finn Balor at WrestleMania against Dom Mysterio in an Intercontinental Championship match and win it from him. Whether he turns face, whether he stays heel, whatever. But I think this loss against CM Punk, because I'm assuming they're going to have another match, I'm assuming at the Elimination Chamber, when he loses, I needed to spark something under him, right? Ooh, he gets mad, whatever. Give us Demon Finn Balor, WrestleMania 42, Intercontinental Championship, Dominic Mysterio, and he wins it off of Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, but great promo, loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree in all circumstances, you know? It started off as like a measuring of the accomplishments, and then it turned personal with like the Zebros stuff, and it just finally ended off with, I'm not choosing you because you're easier, I'm choosing you because I hate you. I feel like that was the line that really sparks the feud into existence. That line right there is like pivotal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think easily the when he said Zebros, I think that was really funny. And then I think what was even crazier when CM Punk came out, he didn't even address Roman Reigns and started talking about Finn Balor, and then Roman has his face is like, we should
Cinema.
have known from that point it was going to be a good promo. Like, and then them Punk bringing up the line, I brought you in the Shield here, and then Roman spinning it right back. Who do you think they asked when you wanted to come back here? Me.
Yeah.
So, no,
There's so much, like before WrestleMania 41, it was Seth, obviously, along with them in the Triple Threat. And I would say, for the most part, that whole feud was revolved around Paul Heyman. They're doing it again with just the two of them. They don't even need Paul Heyman. There's so much story there, and both are such big. They're the two biggest talents in WWE, besides Cody Rhodes, if you want to put him there. Like, this match is going to be insane. It's a crazy promo to advertise, too. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. And it's been created, it's been building ever since a while ago from War Games when they were in the cage together and Roman tried to come out, or CM Punk tried to come out and Roman stopped him. You remember, like, it's been building so much. So,
yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's like we went from having Gunther and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship last year to now having this. Like, and then
like,
I
it's
think
great.
something that Roman mentioned is so true. What he said on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, yeah.
When he steps back in, WWE is back up elevated. He's
Oh,
the
of course.
quarterback one. Cody Rhodes can be whatever he wants, but when Roman Reigns steps back into the building, and he's even going after what he called the loser's title and already put it above the undisputed champion. Like, people don't talk about this enough. They buried Drew McIntyre in that promo and completely like put him down in the like they put him down 6 feet under with that kind of like they were throwing shade at him so much, made the World Heavyweight Championship the A title, and then put that as the B title, and that's just the impact that Roman Reigns made and why he's the tribal chief in the OTC. So, looking at the rest of Raw, is there anything else that happened in particular that you guys like, or anything that happened that could lead us to what we would possibly see at WrestleMania or even Elimination Chamber?
I like the Gunther spot with Dragon Lee in the bell and him like hanging Dragon Lee.
Yeah, no, that was like that's the most brutality we've seen from Gunther since like he made Jimmy Uso bleed last year. Like that's the if they want to have Gunther be the career killer, that's the type of Gunther we need to see. And I give a lot of props to Dragon Lee because he came out there swinging, he was beating down Gunther, and then Gunther proved his dominance. So
Yeah.
I agree. What a heel Gunther is.
mhm.
Coming out to AJ stuff got me out. I jumped. I jumped. I said, "Oh shoot!" And then he's a great heel. He's doing his job. Who do we think we see Gunther face at WrestleMania?
Rey Mysterio.
Really?
In a fake retirement match. He says he ended his career, but like at SummerSlam or some event farther down the line, Ray comes out and starts a retirement program with Dom.
Yeah,
I've seen this. Ready? This is what I've seen. Career killer. retired Goldberg, retired Cena, retired AJ Styles. Excuse me, the career killer versus someone who needs to stop him. Also, someone who does not have a lined up WrestleMania match in place at all. Okay.
Randy Orton.
Thank you. We need to see that at WrestleMania. Hold on, brother. He needs no. You can talk. Listen. He needs to stop Gunther, the Legend Killer. It should be marketed as a retirement match. If Randy Orton loses, he retires, and Randy Orton stops Gunther. Because Zach, who else is he gonna face at WrestleMania? Who else is Randy gonna face, and who else is Gunther gonna face? I don't think Rey Mysterio. What, you're gonna retire Ray like that, or are you gonna have Ray beat Gunther, and end the career killer thing on Rey Mysterio when Gunther beat John Cena and AJ Styles, who are held in much higher regard at their point of career than Rey Mysterio is? Talk to me, Zach. Talk to me.
If Randy Orton faces Gunther at WrestleMania for his career and Randy Orton loses, I'm going to Stamford, Connecticut, and I'm burning down.
No, brother. No, brother. No, brother. I'm not saying no. I say Randy Orton wins.
How do you justify that though? Because so do you have Randy Orton win now and then have Gunther win later down the road for his career?
No, I have the whole career. You can only career kill so many superstars. You already did 3. Okay, I would have Randy Orton come in and be like, "Yo, I'm the Legend Killer. What's up?" They have the match. It's marketed as if Randy Orton loses, he retires. Everybody gets an uproar, but Randy Orton comes in and beats Gunther, and that gimmick is over. Like, we can't have career killer for like, whose career are you gonna kill? There's only about so much. Have Randy
Jericho.
Orton, and that's like, I don't even want. I don't. At a certain point, I think we're overdoing it, because then you're having a bunch of matches that could happen with these superstars for their last match. You just give them all to Gunther. So then back in the day, you're gonna look, oh, who retired John Cena? Gunther. Who retired AJ Styles? Gunther. I don't think that's smart. I think he retired 3 big stars already. I think that's okay. I think that's good. Have Randy Orton finish it. Have that whole dynamic be done. You can have Jericho be retired by someone who actually had history with him. Have CM Punk retire Jericho. Have Randy Orton retire Jericho. You know? So, yeah, that's my
It's
my
Triple
say.
H though. Once he has something, he ain't gonna stop. That's all.
Well, I don't know. I don't even want to see Gunther versus Chris Jericho. Well, that has no significance. There's nothing in that. Like, I don't want to see that. And so Zach, let me ask you a question. What's Randy Orton's WrestleMania match? What do you have in mind?
Anything but Gunther. Keep him away from Gunther at all means possible. Because if I'm telling you at this point, WWE thinks Gunther has all this steam when he really doesn't. So if no matter if whoever Gunther faces next, if it's definitely a veteran or a legend, they're gonna lose, and it's gonna be for their career. It just makes the most sense it's in WWE's mind. Oh, we have to capitalize on this career killer now. Every veteran he faces has to be retired. I know it's not a smart
No,
logic, but it's the WWE logic.
I
Like,
don't think that's the because Randy Orton's under contract, brother, for years. I listen. So let's ready, Zach. So you think he's gonna face Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania? That's your offer?
I think him and Dragon Lee are gonna have a match at the Elimination Chamber. Gunther wins in a competitive match, but then Gunther just is destroying Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio comes out for the save and beats the crap out of him. And then Rey says, "I'll see you at Mania." So,
So then they face, and then who wins?
or no, I think they do the similar style of AJ Styles. They'll be like, "I want to face you Monday." Gunther cheats again, which is so fake. And then Gunther, when Ray asks for another rematch, he's like, "Okay, at WrestleMania, but for your career." And then Ray loses.
Oh, so that you're calling Rey's career like that?
Or they could do what Ed said. I like that, but
But then my
You know
thing
what?
is, let's say Rey Mysterio loses. Who is the one to stop Gunther from killing careers?
I
Who
know who.
makes sense? The Legend Killer, Randy Orton.
no, Ed has the answer. Go ahead, Ed.
Kira Tozawa.
What?
What were you gonna say, Zach?
I was gonna go with the ruler, Obafemi.
No, listen. Listen, I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. I think it would make more sense for Randy Orton to do that. It kind of aligns.
All right. So obviously this is a heated discussion, but I think this is actually a good way to wrap things up. We'll probably continue it into the next episode, which we will give you guys. Obviously, with us doing this in the format we're doing it now, expect episodes maybe once or twice a week whenever we all are available. We wanted to make sure to get this first one out for you guys. Make sure to go subscribe to the new channel, TTW Temple Talks Wrestling. We'll be posting there on YouTube and Instagram, so make sure to go like and follow and subscribe there. Other than that, this is going to wrap up today's episode. We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you when we see
Catch you.